This is AFC Bournemouth attacking Premier League's physical monsters Newcastle. Look at the position of the players. There seems no rules for occupying any position or space. We have three players in the same space and no maximal width on the far side. The so-called winger has even shown his willingness to get near the ball. It's against the so-called rational space occupation, where players occupy distinct areas of the pitch to find gaps in the wide football pitch. Bournemouth doesn't seem like equipping predefined positions. Instead, players arrive into the spaces that they think will progress their attacks. Coming over to the sequence, we have the left winger carrying the ball towards the flank with a defender chasing him. The setup looks basic with almost three players equipping the box, while the far side winger has moved inside to stay connected. Due to the pressure, winger plays it back, and it's a 4v3 numerical overload for Bournemouth on the flanks. These are the positions they are in. The left back is in advanced zone, and two central midfielders or the double pivots are close to each other, contrary to positional systems in which one of the central midfielders will be more away from the ball, probably in the center. The space has opened up between the fullback and the centre back, as the fullback has moved wide due to the wide overload created by the right central midfielder. Fullback thus wasted no time in attacking the space or the gap in the back lane. Three players are trying to move towards the ball into the space to help out the ball carrier to penetrate the box. The striker isn't staying near the goal as a reference. Instead of such defined positions, players are showing tendencies to utilize the ball near dynamics, which is the space and time around the ball. But opposition tightens defensive block as they read these attacking movements. Now the space is compressed by decreasing the distance between the midfield line and the back line. To create that space again, there should be some movement. Here the ball is moved and we can interrupt a classic possession triangle there. These are the elements we attribute to positional play, which uses triangles to beat pressure. The slight difference here is the players creating the triangle. As I mentioned earlier, it's two pivots in close proximity creating the triangle with the winger in the flanks. Normally, it's the fullback, winger, and one of the midfielders. These triangles are in choreograph, but it occurs naturally. Now the space is still inaccessible due to the compact opposition shape. Yet Bournemouth is keeping a narrow attacking structure. They aren't trying to stretch the backline with equally spaced players occupying different vertical lanes, but we can see a structure completely oriented towards the ball. Attacking midfielder and left back is in congested space. The midfielder drops towards space as he wants to get involved and create something. His movements with the ball attracted pressure, disrupting the opposition shape a bit. Gaps start to open up after this individual movement. They are in the same line at this exact moment, which may be against the rational space occupation ideas, but players are free to express themselves in the ball near zone. As midfielder moved wide, fullback made a move towards the area he vacated. This emerges from the relations between the players close to the ball. These movements have created bigger gaps in the opposition block. Five Bournemouth players are still in the same vertical line, and it looks easy to defend for opposition. These are the positions where they are in now. Note how close is the winger and the attacking midfielder. It seems they are out wide, uninvolved in the game. Left back and the left midfielder too close to each other like in a futsal game, but they still opted to play a couple of passes. This tempts the opposition to press as they decided to move up, thinking that there is no threat, at least for the moment. The close passing triangle further attracted pressure from the midfield line, increasing the distance between the lines. The left winger, who was out wide seconds earlier, recognized the gap opening up and equipped it. As he was played, look at the distance between the midfield and the back lane. Out of nowhere, space has opened up. The right fullback is threatened, so jumps out of his position to close the winger down. This breaks the back lane and creates space. Now look at the opposite movements of the attacking midfielder and the winger. When winger attacks the space, attacking midfielder move to the space, winger left. A fluid dynamic born out of nothing. Winger is played and just look at the space between the lines. The same duo, which we saw as inefficient in the flanks a couple of seconds earlier, has combined to score a goal. This is what happens when players are let free of their strict positions.